Hello everyone, it's Dude Boy Ork Boy, and today I'm going to show you how to build an Ork truck from a dollar store truck for around 10 bucks or less. Alright, so first off, get yourself a dollar store truck, and it's got to be around the same size as your Orks. This one works. This is called the military friction vehicle, which you can get at my local dollar store. I don't know what a friction vehicle is, but this is one. So we'll cut off the tag. Let's pull this out. This just comes right out of there. Oh yeah. Okay. There's a tire on the back. I'm probably going to take that off. Get my handy dandy screwdriver here. And just get this tire off. And you can use this tire in a later project. You don't throw it away. This is a perfectly good tire. You can glue this down to something. Make a tire yard. Okay. There's a few knobs and things on the back of here that I'm going to get rid of. I get my flush cutter out and snip away some of this stuff here. Woo! That went flying. Could put an eye out, so be careful. Alright. So this is going to be my basic frame for this cheap build. Next step, you're going to get yourself some thin cardboard. You can use a cereal box or a cracker box, Pop-Tarts, you know, if you eat Pop-Tarts, save the box. You can make some cuts into. I'm using this card stock. It's a I think it's a package from one of the local bakeries. You know, they put some baked goods in it, and then you end up with this huge pastry box, and the baked goods only take up a small part of it. I threw away the piece that the baked goods were sitting on because it was stained with food. You don't want to put food in your projects. But so yeah, you're basically just cutting odd shapes to use in this project. There's a nice big piece, and I'll cut it into strips because we do actually use a lot of strips. I'll just cut this into squares. And these strips, I'll be cutting them down to size for sizes that I need. So I'll leave them long for now. The next material you're going to want to use is shipping strap. This is a shipping strap. It comes, you know, they put these around boxes for when they ship. It's an extra level of protection so the box doesn't tear open. You use it mostly for like heavy shipments. I have a whole box full. Here's another one. This one's pretty thick. I'm going to cut this one up here for this project. Now you get some rounded edges on this plastic. You can straighten it up, you know, but since you get these things for free, just cut it off. Don't even worry about it. Here's where it joins together. It's kind of a little bit too thick. I'll just dispose of that. Here's a good piece. Here's a good piece. Here's a good piece. This one's small. Here's another bend. I'll just cut it away. And these are some pretty heavy-duty scissors I'm using here. They're like the kind that you use in the kitchen, you know. So they're pretty sharp. You definitely want to be careful with these, because these scissors can actually cut through bone. So if you're young, and just use regular scissors. Don't go with the extra sharp ones. Alright, so we got some material there. Here is another material I like to use in my projects. These are like an alternative peanut. I believe they're called Expedios. They're a recycled cardboard, and they fold them up into these triangles, which are good to use in orc stuff by themselves. You can make barricades out of these things. Expandos, I believe they're called. Expandos triangles. And they're supposed to be like an alternative to a peanut. You know, it's a recycled material. You use it in shipping. I ended up getting a huge box of these things one day. And I have just enjoyed them the whole time. Like, these are the best thing to get. So I'm going to tear them open, because I'm actually going to cut these up into pieces to use in this project. So slice here, slice there, here's another slice, slice. I'll cut right through those two eyelets, slice, slice, slice. So normally when I do one of these trucks, I usually pre-cut most of this stuff, but you know, for this video I want to show you guys everything, front to back. You can build trucks for the Orc Army for dirt cheap using this method. You know, I say when I say under $10, it's even less. It's, you know, the only reason you're even using the initial $10 is to like get the good glue, you know, the truck itself. You gotta get good glue. You can't really use, you know, cheap glue, or you're gonna have, you know, bad results in the end. You know, stuff's gonna come apart. So you spend a little extra to get the good glue. And the glue I'm talking about here is this Gorilla Glue. Most people can get Gorilla Glue where they live. I get this clear one, which doesn't matter because you're going to do a paint job, but this clear one doesn't foam. And the other kind can foam, and it actually really sucks when a piece foams up a little bit and then, you know, it's sticking out because the glue foamed underneath it. You can get some really wonky results if your glue foams underneath your piece that you worked on. So it's like an extra $1 more. You get the clear one that has the non-foaming formula. Or you can get yellow if they have a non-foaming yellow. I believe I did see a non-foaming yellow, which was the same money as the clear, so I just bought clear because, you know, universally I could use it on a different project that I might not be painting over, and then I would want clear. So here we go. We cut all those up. We got some nice spiky pieces, you know, ruffled, looks like a piece of metal, you know, something that orcs would use for their truck. Another material I like to use in these projects is this corrugated cardboard stuff. You know, I got some big pieces, some big sheets here that I had already pulled the top layer off. So I ended up getting some boxes, some little packaging boxes. And the top was real easy to peel away, and you ended up with this underneath. And so I couldn't pass it up. I said, wow, that looks like that ruffled metal, you know, like a ruffled sheet metal. So we're going to use some of this in our project today as well. And just, you know, just do some basic cuts. You don't have to go, you know, extreme right now, because as we work on this project, we're going to be cutting things to shape, you know. We're going to lay a piece down, and then we're going to cut another piece up to complement that piece. So you can just do some basic shapes just to get it kind of smaller on the table. You know, get yourself a stack of this stuff. Well, we won't be using this much on this one truck, but I like to have options. So we'll do that. There we go. Cut it. Alright, so I got all that stuff over here now. And I also have a pile of just bits and pieces and, you know, stuff from other projects that I still have laying around. And you always also want to get a couple of pieces of tin can. This is a piece of a soup lid. And the reason why is because you can make magnetic add-ons. Like what I do when I make these trucks is I'll make the truck and I'll find a few places where I think a magnetic add-on would look good in the future for weapons options, ladders, you know, things like that. So you get yourself a tin can, wash it off. Obviously, you don't want to cut yourself on any of these edges. You know, I mean, I'm poking it pretty hard here, and I'm not cutting myself, so just, you know, be careful if you're young. Don't cut yourself watching my video, and then go and cry to your mom that you cut yourself watching my video. Alright, here we go. I am going to start putting pieces on. I got enough pieces here to start this truck. So first place I'm going to start is in the back here. There's already some good shape in here. We've already got some diamond plate pattern that's already on this truck, so we're not going to waste that. But what we are going to do is we're going to lay down some pieces inside that back area there. And what I usually do is I'll come in with a piece and see that it fits. Okay, yeah, that'll be a good fit in there. I'll actually probably put it about right here. So then I throw some glue on the back of it and lay it down. And you can slide it a little bit to make sure it gets a firm bond. Here's another good piece. It's a little long, so I'll trim the tip of it. Yoink. Throw some glue. And there we go. Now that gap, I have a perfect piece for that. Here is a nice piece of shipping strap that I was punching rivets out of. The way I do my rivets is I take a leather puncher like this, one of these guys, And on the smallest setting, you can take a piece of this shipping strap here, and you can just punch right into it because it's plastic. So you get punching. Just go down the line. Might have to spin it, but you end up with rivets. Take a toothpick, push them through, and there you go. And I've seen a lot of people use the polystyrene tubes. They make like slicers, so that they can get, they can just kind of just stick the tube in and slice, and they get perfect rivets too. And they get a really good rivet. That type of material works with the plastic glue, and so you get a really good bond if you use that. But since I have a lot of shipping straps for free, I use them. I use shipping strap and a leather punch. Put on some Netflix, punch some rivets. No big deal. Alright, so that's all you need. You just need a few pieces in there to arc it up a little bit. We can come back in and do any, we can add things on as we go along. I'm going to go ahead and jump on this front end here. Just drop a piece on top. Here's another one, drop a piece on top. Go kind of, give it an interesting direction there. That way it looks, appealing. This will fit back here. Go ahead and nip that one side. Gives it a little bit of interesting shape. Drop that down in there. And you get your handy dandy toothpick and just, just kind of slide it a little. Make sure there's a good bond. Take a little piece of your shipping strap here. Cut off a nice little piece. And what's cool about the shipping strap is that it actually has a diamond pattern on it too. So it looks like diamond plating. And it's just perfect for Ork material, or any factions material really. I mean, it looks, like a construction material. Alright, so that will fit kind of like that. And that's the good thing about this Gorilla Glue, is even though it's a durable, strong glue, you have a little bit of working time. You can move things around for a little while it's drying. And that's really important. Super glue is a really good material. It dries fast, but it does have a bad odor. This Gorilla here that I'm using has no odor, and let me tell you, odor is huge in this hobby. You can end up with headaches, like chemical fucking headaches. So you don't want that. Alright, let's get one of these pieces of spiked pieces. And let's see, what are we going to try to put this thing like right here? There we go. Nice. Alright, I think that'll about do it. Let's get our front window guard going. Yeah, we'll do about that big. So what I do on these front windows is I'll take two of these straps. I'll take a strap and cut it in half, and then I'll use the Gorilla Glue Super Glue for this, and I'll go through and I'll put a few drops on here. Bead, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go with 5 beads of glue. Nice, you know, decent sized beads. That way what we're going to do to them stays. So I'm going to take one of these and drop it right on there, just like that. So this will just kind of be like a window guard for that front windshield. Bullet shield, windshield, same thing. Bullets create wind. There we go. We'll give this thing a few minutes to solidify. And then we'll just put it right on there. But in the meantime, let me flip this thing over and start work on the side. And you don't have to have everything butt up against each other. It actually looks really good in the final paint job if there are spaces in between these pieces. So yeah, but you can go all the way. You can layer on top of layer. You can get 3, 4 layers going if you want to get more details. I do mine pretty simply. I have kind of a simple style when it comes to my trucks. And these are fun to build. You know, this is a perfect afternoon project after school, on a Saturday or a Sunday like today. Today's a nice, beautiful Sunday. I live in Northern California, and so our weather is starting to get really nice out there. It's getting to be hiking season. I like to go hiking with my friends. We go all over the place. We do the mountains, the hills. We have the ocean. We have desert hiking, which I know doesn't sound that fun. Desert hiking. Well, when you do it in the winter or something like that, it's really beautiful. It's amazing what these deserts look like when you get in them and you see the plants and the animals and the minerals. There's literally just like deserts just ooze mineral deposits. And so you can explore and enjoy what nature has to offer. There we go. That'll look pretty cool. And we definitely want to get the rims as well. Orcs dress their rims. There we go. That'll work out. That'll work out nicely. There we go. And then I can get, I know, another piece I could use for that rim. Okay, push it down a little bit there. There we go. And this Gorilla Glue is really good. This will dry up nicely. All right, let's do the back. Get a pretty big piece going on there just to start it off with. And don't be afraid to measure things up, to hold them against your truck so you can see if they're going to fit or not. And change your mind. If you lay something down and you don't like it, pull it off. Lay something else down. If you don't like something, definitely get in there and retrieve it before you end up regretting what you've placed. Once this glue dries, all you can do is go over top of it. It's really strong glue. Alright, this will fit right there. I like how the edges kind of stick out. It's a little like wavy. That'll look really good during the paint job. Alright, there's our back end. And let's go ahead and I like to put a piece on the front. So I just put a big flat piece on the front because I'm actually going to put a truck grill. I have a truck grill to use for this project. And also, I think we're about ready to get this on here. This is your Ork guard. So I'm just going to run the glue directly over this. And then I'm going to take the piece and just stick it onto that. So that we don't really worry about it. There we go. Look at that. Window guard in place. And I'm probably going to do a few more of those and put them along the sides. So we'll see if that works out. But now we got to do this side, and we have to actually be really gentle here. This side here is probably still a little bit wet. These pieces can move around. So when I lay this down here, I'm just gonna, try and be as careful as I can. That way stuff doesn't move around over there. Oh, shit, it came off. Yeah. Here, I'll fix it up. There we go. Fixed it up. It's a little different than it was before, but I think it'll be more durable for this phase. If we move quickly, we can I can get it on right back up on its right side again, and we can still go forward. Yeah, so you can do one of these for under $10. Basically, you just have to scrap up all the parts and then get a dollar store truck and some glue. And you can get paint for pretty cheap. If you go to somewhere like Walmart, you can get a can of black spray paint for $1. And then you can get a can of red paint. If they have the cheap brand one, you might even be able to get a can of red paint for $1 and some change. But usually those are all sold out or discontinued or whatever. You end up having to get a can of Rust-Oleum or something like that for $3, $3 or $4. That's how much they are here. It could be cheaper elsewhere, but the one can of paint lasts a long time. You can do many paint jobs with it, as long as you keep care of it. You know, if you don't let the tips get clogged. Pro tip: when using spray paint, after you're done using the spray paint, you can flip the can upside down and spray for a moment or two until clear air comes out. And once the clear air starts to come out, your tip is clear, your tip is clean. So keep that in mind for all you people who use spray paint to base your projects like I do. You can get a little bit more out of your spray paint by keeping the nozzle clean. I use a lot of spray paint. Or I should say I have used a lot of spray paint. Because aside from doing projects like this, I actually You might be able to see that there's a couple of box sets for Star Wars X-Wing back here. Well, I make my own space maps for X-Wing, and so I tend to use multiple cans of black spray paint when I'm doing those. There we go. Nice. All right, now for the rim. Put that right in the middle. There we go. So we'll do a pretty big piece here, and a small piece. Okay. Cool. I'm pretty happy with it. This Gorilla Glue, it takes a 24-hour period to like fully cure, I should say. But you know, it gets pretty tacky after like 20 minutes. Like stuff's not really gonna move around. It's just not, you know, 100% cured as the product is intended, but it's a good enough cure. 20 minutes, you can move this thing around. So now I am going to put some bits on this thing. I have a truck drill here that I got online. So let me put that on here. And you can get bits online. There are bit sellers on eBay. There are bit sellers, you know, you can go to like Cromlech and get their bits. They have Orkish bits that are their own sculpts. You can go to your local gaming store, and most of those places have bits bins that you can dig through, and you can get bits for, you know, as low as 10 cents each. My local game club has a bits bin, and they have thousands of bits, man. You can spend hours digging through these bits bins. And alright, so I got my grill on the front. Boom. Yeah, check your local club, man. I guarantee you they either have a bits bin or somebody there has a bits bin. They might have a program where you can get on a bulletin board and ask for bits. eBay is a big time source of bits. I have bought loads of bits from eBay for dirt cheap. I mean, we're talking $5 for, 20, 30 bits of different stuff. You can if you find a bit seller on eBay, they usually have multiple bundles of bits, and so you can go on there and you can get combined shipping. You can buy a couple bags of bits for $5, $10. Alright, so we're going to do some front end teeth on this thing real quick, and I'm pulling these blocks out because I'm actually going to use them to hold this thing in place while I do this part. So let me make sure I'm in frame here, and then I'll move on. Let me get some teeth ready. Some front end teeth. Alright. Let's do this thing. So for this part, I'm actually just going to lay a complete bead along this entire front thing, because I really don't know where all these pieces are going to go, and I just want to drop them on. So I've taken a shipping strap and I've cut it into triangles, and I'm going to place them on the front like teeth. Because that's how Ork vehicles are. They're kind of toothy. They're a little bit, Australopithecus or whatever. Alright, so this one. What if that was like the secret Ork lore, that they literally descended from Australopithecus, and that's why they like teeth. Somehow I doubt it. There we go. Let that dry for a moment. Looks like we've lost a piece here. Yeah, that'll work. I'll just let that dry for just another moment before I move the truck again. I don't want any of those teeth to slide. And what I'll do is I'll just get a few bits ready for this thing. Oh, got a notification on my telephone. My cell phone. You can call me on my cell phone. Okay, I think we're good. Blocks are handy to have around. Alright, there's my teeth. So toothy. That truck is so toothy. Alright, so I got my front end grill, I got my toofs, and let's throw some bits on this thing. I think I'm going to go all rivety on this front end here. This hood, I'm not going to use a bit on the hood, I'm just going to like ork it up a little bit more with like a few more oddball pieces. Something like this. That'll work. That way I can throw some rivets on it. There we go. We're going to put a bit right here. And I'm going to switch over to the super glue again for this. Because these bits actually have enough weight to slide using the slow cure glue. So I need to use something a little bit faster. So I use my Gorilla Glue super glue. And I'm going to put this bit right here. There we go. Mess with the bull, you get the horns. And we're going to put a bit right there. There it is, folks. Alright, this truck is pretty much done. You know, all I have to do now is allow this glue to dry and then give it a paint job. I might be giving it a paint job a little bit later today. So thank you very much for watching my cheap truck build. You too can go and build an Orkish truck for under $10. And I think you should. I think you should go out, get some dollar store trucks, and turn them into Ork trucks. And have fun doing it too. Thanks for watching, everybody.